we will commence our last meeting of fiscal year 2021. So let's see, we just had Labor Day. So celebrating the blessing that God gave man by cursing the ground for our sakes and making us work by the sweat of our brow. I'm wondering what we all did over the Labor Day weekend to celebrate. We didn't have to labor. And so we'll go around. I'll be first in our welcome and introductions. And let's see, for Labor Day weekend, I went out to Oregon, Illinois, and did a little hiking over at the Big Indian. I don't know if people have seen the Big Indian off the Rock River. So we saw the sites and then the original site of the John Deere manufacturing plant. So that was pretty cool, as well as seeing Ronald Reagan's boyhood home in Dixon. So I had a 3-city tour in Western Illinois, Oregon, Illinois, Grand Detour, Illinois, and then Dixon, Illinois. And then I'm Jack Wheatley, lead pastor at Greater Grace Community Church, as well as the current president of the Coalition for a Safe and Healthy Elgin. All right.
Thank you. All right. I'm Jared. I'm a prevention specialist at Ecker, also social media specialist for the Coalition. I did not do that as much as Jack did. I just kind of spent it just relaxing with my family a little bit. So it was nice though. It was a nice weekend, but just kind of took it easy. Bernie, would you like to go next?
Labor Day weekend, I went up to my property where I'm building a cabin. We purposely did not do any work. We went mushroom hunting, scouting hunting places, sites, which I don't hunt. I just go for the hike. We went to Sausage Fest. We cooked beef stew and we went out to dinner and then drove back home. That's in Land O'Lakes, Wisconsin area, Eagle River, that area.
Nice. And who are you again?
Bernie Bajak, Sergeant in the Elgin Police Drug Unit.
Thank you. Bob, would you like to go next?
Sure. Bob Witt, chaplain and community engagement with the Elgin Police Department. We just chilled at home. Didn't do a whole lot of anything. So we just kind of chilled at home and I think maybe watched a football game or something. Was it?
Nice. Tina, would you like to go next?
Sure. I'm Tina Link, Manager of Community Outreach at Advocate Sherman Hospital, and also the Treasurer for CSHE. Labor Day weekend, my son had just gotten his license last Friday. So of course I was terrified that, they're constantly on the road. So I worried a lot all weekend. And then we just went, the two boys, my husband and I went, the older one went golfing because he is on the golf team and the other one wanted to go fishing. So I went and did nothing but sat there and watched. So it was great.
Nice. Gil, would you like to go next?
Sure. Well, I think y'all know who I am. I'm with the Coalition, obviously. And I did something we haven't done in a while, actually. Had a family get together. Just haven't seen family in a long time. And we talked about pretty insignificant things like the mandated vaccine, the Texas abortion law, and rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Wow, that's intense.
In that order, huh?
It really was in that order.
And Christina, would you like to go next?
Hi, I'm Christina. I'm the parent rep. And for Labor Day weekend, I didn't have my kids. They left me. They went to Arizona. So I was just at home. I didn't go anywhere the whole day. And I'm an artist, so I painted pretty much the whole day and just stayed at home.
Nice. All right. I think that is everyone, Jack. So
I think that is. everyone. And so it sounds like it was a low-key weekend. And kind of just enjoyed. I never heard of mushroom hunting before, so that's pretty cool. If everyone's interested in mushroom hunting, you can see Bernie. Yes, go ahead. Oh, no, he's just saying okay. Very cool. So first on the agenda is the September packet. We didn't really have minutes, but I guess we're gonna do that next month, Gil. Have the minutes for the September packet.
Yeah,
Or,
sorry,
you know,
guys. I just, we'll do it next time. I just, inundated with a lot of things and just couldn't get to them.
So what that's just highlighting is that we have a need for a secretary that would help Gil in the compilation of the minutes. And there's not a whole lot of duties. It's not really burdensome, but to have someone generally while we're doing our meeting, just keep the high level details of what's discussed so that we have a record of what we month to month are doing in CSHI. So the secretary isn't a burdensome position, but it is an integral position to what we do. So up next, let's see, in our packet, there was a treasurer's report. This is the last month of our fiscal year. So Tina, I didn't know if you had anything specific that you'd like to tell us. We do have $125,000 a year grant, and our treasurer's report is in the packet, and we have our treasurer. She is poolside. I think she's in her bikini. That's why she's not giving us an image.
Yeah, right.
Go right ahead.
So Jared, I think someone was sharing the screen,
Yeah,
so I
hold
don't have
on.
it in front of me.
Yeah, I will
But,
share that. Hold on.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So this is the report that we get on a monthly basis from Ecker. And I think it's been, a great work in progress, and we're making strides here. So, I mean, yeah, you can see the different categories of sub-accounts that are in there and how things are allocated differently. So the amount per month and then year to date. So I think we're doing really well. I think there were a couple of things in August that didn't appear on there yet, but I think some things are still coming in. So I think we'll be right on track. So I think we're doing really well.
Does anybody
That's all
have
I
any?
have.
That's all you got? Anybody got any questions for Tina at all about the report? Or we're all easy. We believe in what you're doing, Tina.
Thank God.
We don't think you're playing funny with the money. Let's see. For those of you who, I don't know if Christina and Bob were on last month's meeting, but there's a new CFO in Ecker. We have the same, basically accounting person. Is that correct, Tina? That was
Correct.
compiling the report. But with the new CFO came what, new liberties of reporting more detail, or what would you say was like the takeaway of the transfer of a new CFO?
I think we were able to voice what we needed and had things, thank God for Gil and getting the information from Lisa, in a very understandable format. So I think that's been really helpful. And it's divided out very nicely so we can see exactly where monies are allocated. So I think it's going really well.
Okay, so then basically, guys, this is just a high-level treasurer's report that Tina gives to us. If you guys have any like specific information about like specific questions, Tina does get specific drill down information in a lot better format in a more timely manner. Now that we're like a full year and a half or so in to being to having Ecker as our fiscal agent. So I think that's the right way to speak it. So all things being considered, we are much happier about what's happening by way of like financials, financial information, and then our financial standing. So that's kind of the treasurer's report there.
Thanks for that update on that, Jack. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hugely important that we understand that money is being correctly accounted for and then is being utilized in an efficient manner. And we're just excited about what that will enable us to do in the next fiscal year. So I think we've kind of just been spinning our wheels a little bit, but I think we're getting traction and good traction. So that's really good. And hopefully, as Jared's social media report will show, that we're getting more traction and making strides with our social media as well. So hit it, Jared.
Yeah, so you know, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and kind of our website. Just kind of threw some stuff out there. We've been more, you know, active over the past, I would say, about month on TikTok. I know Gil could probably attest to that. If anybody has any ideas, if anybody wants to be on one of our TikToks, that would be awesome. I don't know if Gil and I always want to be on the videos. I know Gil doesn't always, so whenever we can get somebody new, that'd be great. But we've been getting likes on that, a couple comments. I mean, the real thing that I'm looking for is the engagement, right? And I don't really necessarily care if it's negative engagement here and there. Just something to kind of get the ball rolling. And that's just what I've been kind of searching for. You know, it happens here and there. Still not enough to where I'm content with it. But it's still obviously a work in progress. If you guys have, if you guys come across anything that you want me to share with your organization, please send it. Also, if it has to do with alcohol and marijuana, underage drinking and marijuana, when you find something that you think is worth posting, and, send it my way, because obviously those are two, substances that we're really focusing on. So, anytime I can find something on that, something that's beneficial, that would be awesome. So again, as you can see on a couple of these things, Facebook, it has its ups and downs, just like, really everything does. Our website has had more users, and they seem to be, newer users, right? I don't necessarily know if that's the only time they're going to come back to that I don't know, but you can at least see, some numbers and things like that. As far as TikTok goes, everything has gone up, 1,500% or whatever like that, because we've been a lot more active on it than before. So it was really hard to judge actual numbers for that right now. But again, if you guys don't follow us on any of our social media sites, please do so. Whether you can ask your company to follow us on social media or, just your own, it just helps us a lot as well. I will re-enter our social medias, our ats in the chat. I'll enter those so you can at least see them. All of them are Safe Elgin. Besides Twitter, all you have to do is, instead of Safe Elgin, it's Safe 2014. That's the only one that's different. Other than that, they're all Safe Elgin. So again, just looking to continually increase engagement is, really what I would like, have us more known, have us, people, suggesting us for things and just things like that, always offering help and stuff like that. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. If anyone has any questions, you can always email me, ask me now, type a question, just whenever, but that's where I'm kind of at right now.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing where you're at next month and more social media engagement.
Thank you.
Maybe more ideas.
Thank you, Jack, for saying that. Yeah. I will be emailing you guys as well, here and there, because, I do have a lot of ideas for the new fiscal year coming up. I know sometimes we always say that, like, oh, new year, new thing, but I do have, a list of things I would like to present to you guys when it's complete and things like that. So that way, whether it's just a little video I would like to do with some of you or a little blurb about you guys, just things like that. So just kind of look out for that. And I'll, be sending things your way, in the near future.
All right. Thank you, Jared. And then, yeah, we definitely look forward to what you've got on the agenda. So let's see. Next, we have Gil, right, with his director report. I mean, no, now it says DFC project director report, but then it has me in it. So, Gil, you want me to take away?
No, Jack, I'll be happy to do it. First of all,
right.
thanks everyone for your patience while I'm on the road. I'll try to be as brief as I can.
Wait. Before you get going, let everybody know why you and Tina are on the road and what you guys are doing. So I'm sure they're pretty interested and they may not be aware.
Okay, as you guys know, we have evaluators that we pay yearly to kind of evaluate and keep their eyes on what we do and how we do things and just ways to improve it and be more effective. Well, these evaluators have put together a yearly annual conference for coalitions, and so we're one of several that are going to be down there in Kentucky to get even more specifics and more help, but more importantly, to also network and discuss best practices with other coalitions. The outfit's based in Ohio, so these are coalitions throughout kind of the Midwest. So we're very excited. It's our first time going, and trust me when I tell you, you'll certainly hear a report back from Tina and or I on this weekend. So thank you for just being patient with us, and especially for me being on the phone. I know that's not always the most exciting way of getting things across, but it'll do it, I hope. So the first thing is I want to let you guys know that since our last meeting, we at the 11th hour were asked to participate in the Elgin's barbecue backpack giveaway event, which was a drive-through event this year. And because kind of the late hour confirmation that we received, we really couldn't set up a table. So what we did is the coalition donated like 400 bottles of water for the volunteers. So they were grateful of that, but next year, hopefully we'll be able to be more participatory with the table. Additionally, probably the best news, U46 has finally agreed to be on board with the coalition, and also they're also interested in making sure that the Illinois Youth Survey gets taken this spring. So a lot of good things there. You guys know how excited I was when I heard that. So just to let you know, we may just have some quantitative data for 2022, which is awesome. I was talking recently to a outfit in South Elgin. It's called Cross Kicks Fitness. It's a new business, and the guy is interested in collaborating with nonprofits to have kind of a workout day, and it's based on a donation that they would give to a nonprofit. So part of our sustainability plan is to put together more fundraising events. And I'm talking to him just to get some details. They average about $400 or $500 per fundraising event. And I know that's not much, but to be able to collaborate, get the word out, and even if we make a few bucks, I think it's a major win. So I'll be working on that, and hopefully we can get something done to the coalition for this next fiscal year in terms of working with them on a fundraising event. The progress report was due like last a week or two ago, but the feds had some problems with their website. So what they did is they extended the August progress report deadline to next week. So Jared and I are currently adding the data and the information, and of course we'll give you guys a copy of that progress report once it gets approved by them. These progress reports are twice a year, February and in August. A couple of weeks ago, we hosted a Narcan training with our former president, Gabby Vargas, at her new place called Poema Studios, downtown Elgin. So we had Jim Veronetti from Eckerd come and do the administration training. So for those of you that are wondering if we're still doing anything with opiates, yes, of course we are. We're trained to do Narcan, and of course we're still involved with the drug take-back there as well. Those are the two principal things we do currently with opioids. Lastly, or not lastly, but we also had on the 31st of August, the International Overdose Awareness Day, and the coalition supported that program over at the old Renz building. It's the Renz office for Eckerd, by making sure that we had sound equipment there So we contributed to that event in that respect, make sure everybody had mics and make sure everybody heard the testimonies. It was quite moving, as they are every single year. We're talking about people that are there, people that have lost loved ones to an overdose. And then there's a serenity walk afterwards that's very quiet and somber and very emotionally moving. I'd recommend you guys, whether or not you've ever had a lost one, to come by. I don't think anybody from the coalition was there, but I would highly recommend that next year, August 31st, if you could. We're in the planning right now of an upcoming fun run on October 30th is what we're hoping to do it. Unfortunately, guys, I'll be honest with you. We're trying to work with a new partner, the Fox Valley Young Marines, and it's been really difficult to meet and to plan the logistics of this 5K fun run. And so the city's been not the most responsive either in terms of getting questions answered. So I'm really not even sure we'll be able to do it, but I'm really hoping we can, because the Boy Scouts, I went through a lot of hoops to get the local Boy Scouts Council to agree to help us with that. So hopefully, keeping our fingers crossed, we can make that happen. Also, during that weekend, we'll likely do the Red Ribbon tie-in that we do every year in the downtown bridges in Elgin. That event will be hopefully collaborating with the new partner with respect to the Girl Scouts. So this year we've got Boy Scouts helping, and hopefully we won't disappoint. They're doing it because this year the DEA is offering a new patch for them for Red Ribbon Week. So that's how I was able to get them. An update on the Photo Voice project. The kids, I've got about 7 kids. We have about 11 or 12 photographs, and they still have like one more to take. And then we'll be able to print the photographs and display them at the library. We're looking at about mid-October before we display those, and the photos along with their narratives will be displayed. We also got word from Gabby Vargas at her studios that she would like to, after the library exhibit, she'd like to exhibit them at her place. So this may be a traveling exhibit, which I'm pretty excited about. The drug take back day is scheduled for the 23rd of October, and we're coming up on our first meeting with Sherman probably the next week or two. So we're excited about that planning. This year again, it looks like there will be 2 locations, Elgin and Sherman, with I think the Elgin Police is doing one the Friday before at Del Webb. So there might be a total of 3 events altogether for that weekend. And I'll give you guys more information because we'll probably need some help for volunteering that day. In September, the coalition will be hosting the Elgin Hispanic Network meeting. That's on the 4th Wednesday of September. And on that, you're welcome to come as my guest. If you're interested, let me know. It's only $20, but it'll be free for you since you're part of the coalition. And lastly, Ecker has asked me if I'm interested in teaching everyone at Ecker all about the coalition and what we do, et cetera, et cetera. So that'll be happening, I believe, on the 23rd of September, and it'll give me an opportunity to really let our fiscal agent know what we do, what we've done, and what we're going to do. So that's my report for this month.
Very good. That's all great information, a lot in a concentrated amount of time. So thank you for that, Gil. And if anybody's in the downtown area, like Gabby's little studio, I was at the farmer's market one Friday, and then I just ran into Gabby, and it's her studios right at DuPage Street and Spring Street. So she's just like literally kitty corner to Al's Creamery. That's probably the easiest way to describe it. And I think that's excellent that you were able to help out with the Narcan training there, and then also have another avenue for our photo voice to be shown. So that's very good. And then the 5K or whatever we end up doing with the Young Marines and the Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts, I know that when I did my Fun Fest, that I got the approval to shut down the street for our Fun Fest the day before our event. So making sure that you speak with Elgin and understand, the approval might come really late, but if you don't move forward, just knowing that the approval is going to come, you're kind of like in a catch-22, right? You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So I think just getting the first event that we're going to have under our belt with the Young Marines and the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts, I think that that's going to really diversify and make that Red Ribbon Week a much better event for us, and then actually, get our name out, have more participants, and just make it, a bigger, when it's multifaceted, where we're not just hanging the ribbons, but we're also having an event, more people coming in, and then getting more awareness. So Bernie doesn't have to do all the things that he ends up having to do. So I think that's my input on that. I think it's wonderful. And then it looks like the next thing on our agenda would be, you had the community needs report up. We wanted to finalize this because this is very important for a lot of what we do in terms of what our action plan, our action items, and that we understand like what our community needs, our community resources are, and then get that written. Then that provides a base of information. So Gil, was there anything you wanted to say or any additional input that we needed on the community needs?
No, I think the last time we met, I went through the first half of it with everyone, and that was very, very helpful. So thank you, everybody, for your input. This second half, I'm going to leave it up to the coalition. You guys can either table this and wait till I come back, and I can lead you through that second half, or if you want to go through it now, is fine. I'm kind of at a disadvantage because I'm driving. I can't be looking at that thing. And I can't take notes or any of that stuff. So it's totally up to you guys in that respect. There is no imperative. Nothing. Time is not of the essence with it. But it's where it starts. If you guys remember the strategic prevention framework, out of the 5 points, assessment's the number one. So after we assess, we do capacity, and then we do the planning. Then of course we do the implementation of it, and then we evaluate. That assessment always comes first, and so that's starting the new year. I think it's important that we kind of get a pretty good idea that this is our assessment of Elgin is accurate, especially given the recent developments with the last year or two, with some of the cultural changes that Elgin's experienced, as well as the Census 2020 numbers that are coming out. So that's why. So you guys can table it, or we can do it. We can do it now. It's totally up to you.
Okay. Well, given that we don't technically have like the majority of our members here, right? So maybe it's the best thing at this particular juncture is that each member that's currently here, and then Gil, we invite other members who weren't able to make it this month, that we kind of assimilate this information, see if there's any additional input. I mean, when we were doing work on it last month, Bob and Jen had some great input to help out, and that was just kind of like on the fly. If we're able to kind of assimilate it and kind of spend some time on our own, maybe even next month we have more to say, or more addition for this community assessment. I guess does anybody have a specific motion that they'd like to make in terms of what we do with the community assessment? Do you want to pass it, or do you want to table it until next month? I'm open.
This is Tina. I think we should table it until next month too. I'd like to be able to take a look at this in a little bit more detail, and like you said, kind of take a look at it and digest it a little bit more, and then provide some good feedback. And I think with, if Gil can do it like he did last time, I think that would be very beneficial.
Okay, I take it as that Tina just motioned that we would table it till
Yeah,
next
I'll
month.
move.
All right, would anybody like to second that motion?
I'll second.
Excellent. Jared was so excited to second the motion. I'm so happy that you're like pumped and excited with Sishi. So all in favor to table to next month, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody object and want to pass it this month? You can say nay. All right. I think we got it. Very cool. Well, Gil, maybe we develop like 2 or 3 key questions, when we send it out to everybody to kind of take a look at it. So you and I can talk about that next week. Let's see. Action items are next on the agenda. If you review or if there's anybody that has any updates on their action items, this is the last month of action in September. And does anybody have any specific questions about their items? Okay, sounds silent. We'll move. This will be a wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. Meeting today, that's okay. That's not a problem at all. We've got an open floor. I just want to say open floor again. I'm seeing Christina's face, her smiling face, and I kind of when you were at the Fun Fest for us, that was I just saw how she was interacting and just very thankful for people that do activities. So just want to encourage everybody when there's an opportunity to volunteer and actually do some of the event work. It's not a bore. It seems to be a lot of fun. Christina had a lot of fun, I could tell. And maybe it was just because I was acting crazy in the dunk tank and I was right next to her. I don't know, but it was a good time. So open floor.
And Jack, I just think if you guys would allow me, I want to segue what you had just mentioned about the volunteer thing. I failed to mention that not this Saturday, but the next Saturday is the Saturday that we have planned for a member appreciation event. Okay, I see. That's what I was afraid of. That who of us 6 here to that? It's okay if you can't, because I can reschedule it again. But I need to know whether I'm going to bust my chops to get this thing planned, because frankly, not much has been done on it yet, or whether we should, move it. Who in here can make that? I was thinking of something. It was that Saturday. It was going to be a wing par from like 12:30 to 2:30, and just bring food, and just bring your families and just have, kind of lunch there, basically. So can we talk about that? Do we want to do it on the 18th, or we want to pick another day?
Hey, if you nail it down here shortly, I can still do it. But my morning so far has been filled up. But if you started at like 12:30, 1 o'clock, I'll lock it in and I'm there.
All right. Anybody else?
I can make it. I don't know if it'll be for the whole time, but I'll definitely be there.
Gil, I can't make it, but I would ask that you don't reschedule it because of me. I usually go out of town on the weekends because I got this project up north.
Okay. Thank you.
And I don't have my calendar in front of me. I'm on my phone, so I can't multitask and see what my schedule looks like. But I do know my son plays for the varsity golf team, and I'm not sure if he's going to have sectionals or not. So I have to kind of play it by ear. As of right now, I'll say yes. If not, I will let you know.
Awesome. Christina?
And I can make it.
Okay.
So far. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you, guys. Of course, there's other members that aren't here. Majority of them aren't. So I'll have to connect with them. But all right, so let's just look at it, and I'll work on that and get that done. So the 18th, 12:30, 1 o'clock till 2:30, 3 o'clock, around
there. Yeah, I think that would be a key time if we're able to pull it together, Gil. So if you let everybody in the coalition know and see, and we can hammer it down and have a good time. I could use some appreciation.
I think we all could, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Jack,
Yeah.
of course you do.
Tina doesn't appreciate me.
Yeah. I appreciate the sun and the fact that I'm poolside right now. So I appreciate everything about this meeting right now.
Oh boy. Hey, all right. So is that the end of the open floor? I think so.
I
Bob
have
took off. Oh, you
I
did?
have
Okay, go ahead.
the link in the chat to please take the survey. If you can take that at the end or, just in your spare time, but it is linked in the chat, so you have it.
Okay. If anybody hasn't listened to a podcast of encouraging conversations, that's the currently the monthly podcast that Gil, Jared, and I do. I'd love to get the word out. I'd love people to listen to it. Let's see. Bernie has been on the podcast, but Tina or Lorena or Christina have yet to be on
Lorena
the podcast.
Lorena has.
Oh, Lorena. Okay, she has. So Lorena's actually, well, that was a lot of fun, right, Lorena? You got to hear the podcast. You got to be on.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. Highly
So what would you
recommend
say to
anybody to go on.
Tina? Should Tina be nervous about doing the podcast or?
I'm always nervous doing something with you, Jack. If it involves you and it's got anything to do with questioning, I'm nervous. Just kidding. I'm happy to do it. I know the last time I think I was supposed to do it and I had to cancel. I think we had something going on at the hospital. So I'm happy to help. Just let me know when.
Right. Hey, any input from or update on like what's happening at Sherman with the whole Corona, the COVID, the Delta, the Mu, the Lambda?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. All the variants. Yeah, so I can tell you our COVID census is pretty steady. It's obviously gone up since the uptick of everything. We were down to 0 patients for quite a while, quite a few weeks. We had 0 patients. And now we're back up into the 20s on a daily basis. So nothing too crazy, which is really nice. Not as many in the ICU on ventilators. So that's really helpful. Sorry, there's a plane overhead. I'm right by the airport. I can tell you though that throughout the entire state and as of course the whole country, everyone that is, it's about 90, I think they're saying 98% of all hospitalized COVID patients are unvaccinated. So I would highly recommend, and of course I don't want to get into anything political or concerning, but just wanting to let everyone know that if you have not gotten your COVID vaccine yet, please do so. It is very helpful in preventing hospitalizations or death. So that's my soapbox.
No. All right. We're glad you're off your soapbox, but it's good, it's good to hear that not many people have been in the last couple of weeks. We hope that would continue, and maybe even that this burns out. Is that kind of what has to happen, Tina? That everybody kind of has to get it, and it burn through the population?
It's a common. I mean, it's gonna. I hate to say it, but I mean, it's gonna be like flu. We're never gonna get rid of it. We have to manage it. It's gonna be around the rest of our lifetimes. I can guarantee you that. It's just gonna be a matter of managing. So it's gonna be like a flu, where you're gonna have to, in order to prevent some of these more disastrous type things, get the vaccine, get it on a regular basis, and stay diligent with mitigating and helping with preventing.
Right. Okay. Yeah. If it's like the flu, there's flu vaccines every year, and then people decide what they want to do. Right. So hopefully that's kind of what point we get to in terms of understanding how to deal with it. We don't have to think that the sky's falling. There's a new disease that we all know about. And that's a sad thing, but that's what happens on this earth. All right. With that, I think we've got the whole meeting. So we want to stay healthy. We want to encourage one another to be healthy. We want to encourage one another to listen and share the podcast. If you guys have any specific feedback about the podcasts, we'd love to hear it. And then Lorena, having done a podcast, if you have any ideas about a future podcast, we'd love to hear that as well. So I think that was, and Bernie also, if you have a key podcast subject that you'd like to do, we're always trying to game plan those out, and you guys are an important part. So don't forget to do the evaluation. Have a great day, and hopefully we see each other here in a week and a half at the appreciation cookout. Have a great day, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye, everyone.